Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Well Said. I'm very excited to have this conversation. I feel like I've been wanting to have this convo with this person for a while, and not only because I go to this person for a service, but also because their story is really, really incredible. I don't know. I need other people to know this about this person. I need everybody to understand, like, you can build a brand, you can create a life that you dream of, and you don't ever have to think about the short end of the stick that you have or the situation that you're currently in, because you have the power of choice to move your life along, to create what your dreams are made of, and like build what you've always dreamed of building, even from one singular idea. Like, it is possible. And that this is like, today's story is like proof of that. How you create your wealthy life, like, just, it's so much more than how you move and how you work out and what you eat. It's also about the life that you're building and the people you surround yourself with and the way that you choose to move forward, really. So I know a lot of you know about the wealthy circle, but like, this is the type of person that's in the wealthy circle. This is the mentor / leader, that an example of one that I really like to just, I don't know, give a little shout out to and give some energy to and hear from her. So I'm excited because today's guest is one of these women, and her name is Macy, and she's the owner of the Lymph Lounge.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited that you're here finally. We've been wanting to do this for a while, but yes. I just wanted to say, like, you have trusted your vision, you've trusted your why, and you believed in even like the smallest little steps to create something really big. So I just want to say you're incredible, and I just love your story. And that's why I was like, we have to get on the microphone. Like, you have to talk about this with people.
Thank you.
You do, like, because you're incredible. So anyway, will you just kind of introduce yourself and tell everybody like what the Lymph Lounge is, I should say. And then we'll go backwards a little bit and talk about your story.
Yes. Well, I'm Macy Grishaw, owner of Lymph Lounge. And it is truly a space of not only for the massage itself, lymphatic drainage massage, but also it was created as a space for women to come and just kind of let go and release. And I think at the core of lymphatic drainage, it really is interconnected of just detoxification. A lot of people, when they hear lymphatic drainage, they think of detoxing. And I really wanted to create a space where people could come in and not only detox through that way, but also emotionally and physically and mentally, because a lot of times it's not just the massage that they are seeking out. They're also seeking out just like a place of just peace and just kind of getting out of whatever situation they may be going in or going through and looking for relief. So it really was created for that reason, and also kind of for myself selfishly, because I truly needed that in the time of my life that I created it. You
created it though. Yeah. Like, it is beautiful. You guys, the space is incredible. If you haven't been, you need to go. And hopefully expanding and doing a bunch of things with growth, which I'm so proud of you for.
Thank you.
And I've been going to Macy's for like 6 months, maybe a little more. Yeah. 6 months, maybe. Yeah. And she was if you went to my larger, like, Head in the Clouds event, Macy was there. She's been there. She's been around, but you've created like truly a space I've winded down. I mean, you've seen changes in my body since I started doing lymphatic drainage, which is crazy. She's like, oh my God, you're like not tense, like physically tense, which is crazy that you can feel that and full of like fluid retention.
Yes.
Which I'm like, I see the difference, but I also feel the difference. So I think lymphatic is incredible, and we'll talk about lymphatic a little later. Yeah. But I want to start with your story, because what were you doing before this? Because you built an incredible brand, but I want to show people like the evolution of why you went from this to this and how the heck you did it, because I think it's incredible. So what were you doing pre-Lymph Lounge and pre-lymphatic?
Yes. So I went to school. I went to St. Cloud State. So shout out Huskies.
Oh, yeah. For local.
Yes. For social work. So I got my bachelor's degree in social work. And honestly, I think probably 99% of social workers would say why they got into that field. It's because they want to help people. They want to fix the world. They want to solve all the problems. And I believe at my core, like, that is who I am. Like, if I could fix everything and help everybody, I would. And so I thought that going into social work was my path. However, when I got into it, I realized that it was a lot more desk work, and I wasn't pushing the needle. I was just kind of maintaining things, and it didn't give me the purpose I was looking for. So I started getting into alternative healing and Reiki. And that really was helpful, especially because I was dealing with a lot of personal things in my life. Yeah. My sister at the time had been involved in a domestic abuse relationship. And so her and I really wanted to kind of like create this thing of like healing. And I also was kind of dealing with some postpartum. So I was just looking for like resources for myself, and I wasn't finding it. So I'm like, let me create it. Like, let me make this space for myself. And so got into that. And then Reiki led me to massage. And while I was in massage school, unfortunately, my sister passed in 2020. And that really was the turning point in my life. I knew at that point I had two decisions. I could either kind of stay in the dark and be in that space I was in, or I could take that pain and continue our dream and continue my dream and my family's dream, and just bring whatever bit of light I could to this world. Like it really was like a huge awakening for me of like, this is all you got, right? Like, none of us ever know what's going to happen tomorrow. And if you don't follow your dreams, if you don't take your pain and turn it into purpose, then what is it all for, Yeah. And I knew I had my children, my niece, everyone, my husband, my family looking at me for answers. And this was something I think we all were looking and really needed in the time of a dark space. So
yeah, I'm so impressed by you, by the way. And I'm so sorry for your loss, but also just like that, being able to turn that into something that created the rest of your life and like will continue to create life for your family is like the most admirable thing in the world. Like, how did you find courage to be like, I could either go into a hole, like into a depression hole and like, wallow, or take what my sister and I really wanted to build and go for it. Like, how did you find the courage to do that?
I don't think there's really like a best answer for it, but I really have to give credit to, and I think you and I talked a lot about this, like having an amazing spouse, my husband, and credit to all of my family, but truly my husband was like, keep going, like this is, you have to see this through, and if, take your time. And also COVID happened, right? My sister passed in February, and then March, everything shut down. So I really had all the time in the world to like sit around and kind of like wallow, but he didn't allow me to. He was like, okay, like, yes, take your time, but then also let's do something that will give you purpose, that'll make you happy again. And then also I believe that it is truly like something that was just in me. Like, I couldn't avoid it, honestly. And I think a lot of like entrepreneurs and a lot of people who have businesses, they're like, no matter how much I wanted to like ignore this little voice in my head, like, oh, go start your business. You can't ignore it. Like, it's just there every day. Every time I closed my eyes, I thought about it. Every time I, was in a hard situation, I was like, what? I could create this space, So I was obsessed with it. And I think when you lean into that, it's very powerful because you just have to trust yourself. And I knew I didn't want to be in that dark space my whole life. Yeah. And it was honestly like the fork in the road. It was like left or right, what do you do? And I'm so grateful that I chose the right way because it's turned into the most beautiful thing ever.
And it's not been easy. No. It's not like, you're not going to pretend that. And I want to talk about that, but
yeah,
you knew you were meant for it and you're seeing this like vision, but like, I love asking like, what were you seeing? Because I think a lot of people think you literally just said, oh, I'm going to create the Lymph Lounge. I'm going to create this space. It's going to look like this. We're going to offer this and it's going to be this.
Right.
When in reality, I think you just knew like, I want to do some sort of massage and create a space. Like how much of your vision did you know before you said, okay, I'm going this way in the fork?
Yeah. So truly it started off as Lymph Lounge was started off as meditated moms. And so that was like originally what we had kind of like, I had talked about because obviously what I was going through, my sister was going through. So I was like, I want a space where moms can come together, we can heal together, talk together and support each other because it does feel very lonely, especially with your first child, like postpartum and the baby blues, like those are real things. And it's hard to like get out of those days unless you know other people that have gone through it and you can rely on them. So through that, it just kind of, evolved and what was the question?
No, it's okay. Like, what did you see?
Yeah.
No, you're totally fine.
Yes.
What did you see? Like, but cause okay, you're at the fork in the road.
Yes.
And you're either like, I can either continue doing what I'm doing, which I would love to know what you were doing at the time, or I have this thought, idea, vision. A lot of people think you just know everything.
Oh, sure.
But like, what were you seeing and feeling? Like you only saw this much. You just knew you were called to it. But like, what were you seeing?
Yeah. I was seeing, just happiness and I was seeing a place of kind of like, you think physically detoxing, right? But I was thinking like emotionally detoxing. Like when people walk in my doors, they're going to leave different. They're going to leave calmer, more energized. And I didn't necessarily knew there was a connection with lymphatic because I was dealing with my own, kind of, trauma and I was internalizing it and it became physical ailments. And when I started to do body work myself, that's when I realized I was like, oh my gosh, there is this amazing, beautiful connection of releasing physically and emotionally. So I knew there was something in that aspect. I just didn't know what. But what I envisioned was people coming in kind of like with baggage and leaving with no baggage, like leaving with nothing. They're walking off in a clean slate. They're refreshed. And yeah, just kind of taking that in because that's just my personality. I feel like as an empath and someone who as a little kid always wanted to save the world, like you can hold on a little more than most people. And I wanted to lean into that because I knew that was my gift. Like that's what I was kind of put on this earth to do, was to take pain away from others because I was kind of able to reflect it off of myself and not carry it along with me. Yeah. So I didn't know how it was going to work, but I knew it was that feeling I wanted everyone else to be able to experience.
I love explaining that because I think so many people assume you start a business, you know exactly what it looks like, you know exactly, your why, you know exactly what you're going to be doing like physically for you, like some sort of like energy healing body work. But you didn't know that. You just took steps towards the right direction. You just knew I have a calling. I want to create a space for healing. I'm just going to take one step at a time. I'm going to try Reiki healing. I'm going to try massage because Reiki was maybe like wasn't fulfilling as much as you wanted to do. It's something that you needed because you were hurting. I think so many people are like, no, I can't do that because I don't really know what it looks like. But the fact of the matter is if you feel called to something, you just need to start. Yes. Like a brand is not going to be built on just, like, I think I'm going to create this.
Yeah.
You're like, no, you kind of need to embody it.
Yes.
You need to move through it. You need to understand it. And one little piece at a time, you get the rest of like, it's like walking out across water and there's little like, rocks. They're not all visible until you get closer. And then you're like, oh, thank God there's a rock right here. Yes. Okay. I think I know where I'm going now. Yes. Like you can't see them though when you're looking across the river. That's kind of what I always think about. So even with agency and like starting work and leaving my full time, like I did not know what the hell I was doing, but I knew I needed to go a different direction. That's all I could trust in my gut. So you're powerful and you were doing it through hurt and just like change in life and so much, like so many reasons to not do it on the hard days. What were you telling yourself? Because you could have easily been like, this is too much. This is too hard. I got the short end of the stick in life. Like I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah. I mean, having
your partner,
first I'll say,
right?
yes, having a great partner and your internal thoughts are like the most underrated, but most amazing aspect, I think, of anything that we have as, I guess, humans, I would say, like what you tell yourself and what you allow yourself to believe. If you say, I'm not going to make it, this is too hard, then it's going to be hard. It's going to, but a lot of my family members really, especially through our grief and our healing, like taught visualization. And it's like, visualize yourself happy, visualize yourself in your next journey. What do you want to do next week or 5 years from now? So on the hard days, I always reminded myself of the future, like what's going to happen, like this, today hurts and it sucks and I want it to be over, but like, what do I have to look forward to? And I had, 2 children at the time. So like, obviously they were very inspiring to me because I'm like, I can't just give up. Like, I don't have the luxury of just being like, well, it's too hard. Like, I had these little, girls looking at me for guidance and what can I give to them because they were hurting as I was. So 2 things, having your community and your people, but almost most importantly, what you tell yourself and the story you tell yourself, because that gives you that motivation every day and that reminder of like, okay, I can one day at a time, like you said, one stone at a time. And kind of like fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Like truly, like I live by
Literally.
that. Yeah.
You
like,
kind of have to.
You do. Yeah.
Otherwise, and honestly, everybody thinks everybody's got it figured out, but really everybody who's doing it, I think, is faking it till they make it. That's
Literally.
my honest truth from the other side. So I love hearing that. And honestly, that honesty of it is like, gotta just keep going. Gotta support my fam. Can you talk about like so you, I think, quit social work at this time. I'm not for sure, but so correct my timeline. And then you started doing Reiki and then like massage, but where were you doing these?
Yeah. So it was 2020, right? So it was COVID. And so I just started in my basement.
Yep.
I turned I had like a kind of like a little meditation room, and I turned that into my treatment room, and would slowly start taking family, then friends, and would like have my husband take the kids and the dogs and like go somewhere so I could have clients. And just really like piece by piece started doing it. I was pretty much doing it for free. Like I really wasn't charging anything because I wanted to make sure this is truly what I wanted. And like, did I find fulfillment in it, or was there something else out there for me? And it just grew from there. Like I started, like I said, in my basement, and then I moved to a rental, shared a room with someone, and then, moved up from there to a suite, and moved to another suite, and then finally to my own spa. So it really was taking each step and saving every little penny I had to go to the next one, and really investing in myself, and just growing.
I know you started learning lymphatic not here, right?
Yeah.
Where did you learn it? Can you talk about that?
I went to LA and trained with Rebecca Faria. She's absolutely amazing. Been an amazing mentor, and truly is not only all things lymphatic drainage, Brazilian lymphatic drainage, that she the knowledge and just the experience she has, but also I heard her on a podcast, and that was the first time I truly knew who she was. And she made that connection of emotional health and your lymphatic health. And I just remember laying in bed, and it was like a light bulb, like in the cartoons, went off, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is what I've been looking for. Like this, it just all made sense. And it was kind of like I saw my life flash before me. I was like, this is it. Like I hadn't even truly like done lymphatic work, but just hearing the way she described it, I'm like, this is what I've been looking for, not only for myself, but for my clients. And so I went to LA, trained with her, learned, her technique, and then slowly kind of incorporated. I was already doing massage, like just like deep tissue and things like that. But once I started incorporating it into my clients, and again, kind of pretty much for free, I was like, hey, I'm going to try this new technique. And people just fell in love with it. They're like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Like I'm going to the bathroom, like all these different benefits. And I'm like, oh wow, like this is it. Like this is it for me.
Like you knew it was yours.
Yeah.
It was like, this is where I needed to be. But all of that leading to here, like social work to Reiki to massage to deep tissue to lymphatic, how I think a lot of people just jump to something. And for you were so worried about like, is this right for me? But is this right for my people that and is this going to fulfill me? Yeah. Versus like driving immediately to like, I need to make money. Even though you have a full family, you have people to provide for. How were you able to do that? Because I think a lot of people are like, the main excuse is finances that they'll make of their why they didn't go for their why.
You really have to be able to risk it all. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like if you feel it in your soul, like this is what I'm meant to do, you kind of have to be a little bit crazy and be like, I have to risk it all. Like I had 4 children and now I have 4 children, but at the time I had 3 children, and my husband walked away from a 6-figure job for me to follow my dream. And after I had my last son, he would like bring my son to me. I would nurse him and then go back to see clients. Like, I mean, I'm talking like crazy hours, seeing 8 to 10 clients a day, having like lunch with my kids, and then them going home just so I can get some mommy time in, and really following that passion, but knowing that it's for a bigger purpose, knowing that it's not all. The money will come. My mom and dad would always say, if you love what you do, the money will come. So don't worry about the money. Like, don't get hung up on having to spend $100 here, $200 there, because if you love it, it's going to come back tenfold. Yeah. And I really believe that has happened for me, but it's also, you can tell when you go to a provider for something and it's just kind of their job. It's their 9 to 5. It's what they do. But when you go to someone where it's like, this is their purpose, this is what they love, they eat, breathe, sleep, dream about this, it makes all the difference. And I knew what I had was that for me. I was obsessed with it. Like anyone that talked to me, I was like, do you know what lymphatic drainage is? Like, can I try it on you? Like, and so you have to believe in yourself, but you have to take risks. You have to be okay with kind of depleting that account, and it's not for everyone. Like, I understand that, but also if you want the bigger dream, you have to go all in because it's going to come back. You can't, my dad said, scare money doesn't make money. So you can't be afraid to invest in yourself and invest in your training. Your education is so vital because that, again, in the long run is going to help you be more successful and just be an expert in whatever field or whatever path you decide to take.
Yeah. Passion is really what you have to have too, I think is what you're saying. Like, I'm passionate about this. I believe that I can do this. Delusionally or not, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, semi-delusionally, you kind of have to and go all in. And that's what you did. And that's why I think it's so impressive. I mean, you've literally built a brand that, like, being in branding, I look at your brand, I'm like, oh my God, it's beautiful. Like, truly, the space you guys is beautiful. The experience from start to finish is beautiful. Thank you. I don't think like you even know how well done it is. Like, I'm like from the outside looking in, because you're like, yeah, I created this. But like, to hear it from someone who's like, holy shit, this is like chic. Like, you walk in, you guys, like, it's the space is Gorgina. You go back to the room, it's like a full body lymphatic, and then like you go into the red light pod.
Yep. Sauna.
Yeah. It's incredible. And then you get a tea on your way out. It's like, what is this? Like, it's perfect. But going from taking clients in your basement for free to having this like incredible brand that now you get to expand. Like, what would you tell the person that was like doing it and hustling and like what would you say to that person now that you know where you are?
First, I would say I'm proud of you. Yeah. And second, I would say just do it. Keep going. Believe in yourself. There's going to be a lot of forks in the road, and it's never going to change. I think even once you get to that point, there's always going to be more growth. But when you find your purpose, believe in it. No matter what people say around you, have that kind of blind faith, because it's all going to work out. But you have to just kind of have tunnel vision, quiet the noise around you, and put your head down and just do it. And find a mentor, find someone.
Yes.
I think I should mention that it's so important. You know, like I mentioned, I learned a lot from Rebecca and just people around me in the community. So having, even if it's just one person or a few people in your close community or circle, find someone you can learn from, and find someone that can help you on that path, because you don't have to do it alone. You know, there's so many of us out here that can help and connect, and we need a community.
Yes, we do. You need to be around people that are expanders. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. That's exactly the thing is, I wish everyone knew, like, you don't have to drum up something that is completely random. You can take an iteration of something and create it your own, because that's also exactly what everything is on the planet. Like, it's just iterations of each other. So like, that's not copying, especially if you're making your own. And expansion, like, you need people that have done it to prove, okay, that delusion that you have of like, I'm going to do this. At least you can see it now. Yes. You talk about your partner before we talk about like Lymphatic as a whole and him being like your rock. What would you say the like characteristics of who he are? Because I think we underestimate how much we need that person that is like in your ear saying, I believe in you. Like, choosing the right partner. A lot of the women that listen to, whether, you know, in a relationship or not, like, have questions about, how do I know this is my person? Like, what am I looking for? And I feel like you're a perfect example to answer to that.
Yeah, I would say the number one thing is that your relationship should be effortless. And I know that may be a little bit confusing, but from the moment I met my husband, it felt very effortless. Like, we just clicked, and we were able to kind of understand each other, even though we went through some, as any new relationship, you know, some bumps in the road, but it never felt like we had to try too hard. Like, we just always kind of meshed and believed in each other. And there's, again, kind of like that blind faith of like, whatever you want to do, whatever goal you have, like, I'm right here. Like, I'll be your number one supporter. I'll help you. I'll keep you humble. You know, I'll tell you like, okay, you know, maybe do this or that, but having that confidence, and it doesn't always have to be in a partner, but all, you know, even a good friend or a mother or father or sister, you know, having that person that you could say, I'm going to go, you know, jump to the moon. They're like, yeah, you are. Like, yes. Go. And I'm going to be right there watching you. So I would say the main thing is effortlessness and of course encouragement, but then also being that guider of like kind of keeping you in the lines too, because I think that's important. You also want someone that's going to be honest with you and keep you on track. And then, he's just, If I talk about him, I'll cry.
No,
I love him so much.
I love you guys. He's so
and
sweet.
He's gone through a lot in his life too. And I think we've bonded on that, where it's kind of like when you go through something so hard, it's like, what's the worst that can happen?
Yes.
Like, I've already probably been through, some very traumatic things in my life. So let's try. And if it doesn't work, we pivot. We try something else. We do it a different way. We hustle and we find a new path, but to not be afraid to take leaps and try new things. And yeah, that's very important. And to know that if all else fails, we got each other and we can rebuild and try it again a different way.
But having a partner, by the way, that's all incredibly beautiful, that believes fully in your vision and works with you now, like jumped all the way in, like to believe in you completely.
Yeah.
Like that is the partner that you're looking for. Like that is the baseline of like someone who believes in what you're creating wholeheartedly, of course, keeping you in the lines and being real.
Yes.
But now he literally works with you.
Yes. Yeah.
Like it's incredible. Like you're building something, he believes in it. You guys are a team. And that's, I think, theme that you're saying is ease and team.
Yes.
Because without that, if it's rocky right on the beginning, like, and I'm not going to make this obviously about relationships, but like
it's important.
if you're getting into a relationship and you're having struggles and you're like, I don't know, anywhere from 2 months in to a year in, and it's really hard just being in the relationship, whether it be like there's communication issues or there's trust issues, and you're working through it and you're showing up as the best version of yourself and it's still not working. Like there's something there to be said. Like it should not be hard when life is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Like you're not married, you don't have kids, you haven't been through something crazy. It shouldn't be hard. Like that's exactly, I agree with you and everything that you said, and your relationship is beautiful. So I was like, I want to give people a little eye in because they can learn from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I kind of want to transition because people who are listening who maybe have never done a lymphatic drainage session or lymphatic in general, can you explain what the lymphatic system is and what you're doing when you do lymphatic drainage?
Yes. So in simplest terms, your lymphatic system is your detox system. So it's basically, again, in simplest terms, think of it like vessels or pipes that run through your body that absorb any toxins, any excess fluid, and brings it to the lymph nodes, which a lot of us are familiar with, in our neck and our clavicle area and our groin. And from there, the lymph nodes basically act as filtration systems and process out what we don't need. So whether that's toxins from food, air, water, and we basically urinate or sweat it out. If we don't have our lymphatic system, we'd basically explode in 24 hours because that's how important it is to keep that fluid retention under control in our body. And the lymphatic system also is connected to the immune system. So it really helps keep all that under control too as well.
Yeah, because it moves things through.
Yeah.
How, I guess, does the lymphatic system affect our energy and recovery and overall wellness? Because I know it's like moving stuff through, but is it like because we're retaining that? Like what happens? Like you get puffy or what's going on?
Yeah. So think of it like swamp water. Like, so that fluid, that lymph, that fluid in your vessels, it's dirty fluid. So if your lymphatic system isn't working properly and it's just sitting in there, it starts to seep out of the vessels. So now you have these toxins floating through your body. So you're fatigued, you're tired, headaches, brain fog. Then you have the swelling. Like if you've ever traveled and you get fluid retention, that's where that's literally lymph and like water retention. And so there's a whole host of symptoms you can have, but at its core, you would notice it through, like I said, through the swelling, through kind of how you feel physically and even mentally. And then also it's connected to your, like I said, your immune system. So you could get sick a lot. You could just feel like you're just holding on to basically dirty, stagnant fluid. I
mean, the puffiness is what I noticed too. And then the like stiffness in my stomach was, I think, what you saw too. Yeah. But like, who is a good candidate for lymphatic drainage? Because I was kind of unaware that I was a good candidate. You know what I mean? I just didn't know.
Yeah. Honestly, anyone. With our lifestyles nowadays, and I mean within the last 100 years, we're not as active as we are. So I'll back up a little and say the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump system. So they're like the heart, the circulatory system has a heart that's pumping the blood through the body. The lymphatic system doesn't. So it relies on muscle contraction, breath, and then manually, which is what we do at the spa. So we're much more of a sedentary society now. So with that, we have a lot more buildup, and there's a lot more toxins that we are exposed to every day. So quite literally everybody is a candidate. However, we do see a lot more people who have autoimmune conditions, pregnancy. It's so good for pregnant clients. And then also post-surgery. We have a lot of post-surgery clients, cancer patients. Honestly, everybody, they can benefit from it, no matter what aspect in your life. And then also people with a lot of inflammation, a lot of chronic stress that affects your water retention and affects the way your body detoxes heavily. So pick anyone in there.
I know,
they're a good
anybody,
candidate.
like literally basically anybody.
Yeah.
How often should someone get lymphatic drainage?
If you're healthy, and I say quote unquote healthy, eating pretty good, whole food, staying hydrated, movement, once or twice a month is great. It's a good baseline. Someone who has different conditions, they could really benefit from weekly until those conditions kind of get under control.
Yeah.
But at minimum, I love to see my clients who, like I said, have a quote unquote healthy lifestyle. Once a month is amazing because that we can just get everything moving, flush it out, and then just helps with digestion, helps with energy boost, immune system, all the things.
When I was doing it, we did it like pre-wedding, and I was like, I physically got like tighter when I would do it, when I would leave, because you're like working it through and the fluid out. So you like, it's almost like your muscles contract and then you get tighter and the fluid actually moves, and then you almost pee your pants basically is how it feels. Cause you're like, oh my God, there's so much fluid in here. Yeah. But I feel different from starting it. And this is not, by the way, not an ad. Like I literally do feel different though. You've created such an emotionally safe space too, to like come down. You're like, okay, I'm basically like meditating without being in a meditative state. Like I'm just relaxing. Macy's working on my body. She's working on my lymphatic system. She's moving the fluid through. Even when you work on my stomach, and like, I have no problem saying this, like you have built up, like backed up poop in there in your stomach, digested food in your intestines that are like sitting in there. And she's like, oh, I feel like something hard in there, and it's like stuck, and I've been having cramps. And then you're working it and moving it, and it actually like moves through my system. Sometimes it's just like a boost for my body. And when I started coming to you, I was like chronically stressed, and my body was incredibly tight. You even said in my diaphragm, diaphragm was sitting like up underneath my my rib cage. Yeah. And now my diaphragm is lower because I'm taking deeper breaths into my stomach because I'm not chronically stressed. So not all my diaphragm is moving up and underneath my rib cage, which is just crazy. Yeah. And I feel different, and I'm not as inflamed, and I haven't lost any weight, but people are like, oh, you look like toned, like you look like good. And I'm like, genuinely, it's the food I've been eating, it's the way that I've been moving, and it's the lymphatic drainage, and that's like a fact. That's just how it is. So I just had to like share that, because it's like, it's true. You're creating something so special. And I wish I shout you out. I'm always talking about you because I'm like, it feels so good. But when I leave there, genuinely, I'm like, I can feel my body removing and releasing toxins. And you were talking about sedentary lifestyle. But even in today's society, like the toxins that we're around, I think people don't understand, like endocrine disruptors, like all of I won't even get into all the chemicals that are in every single thing that we do. We're probably not going to be able to avoid them. Yes. But we are able to move them through our body and take actions to do that through movement, through lymphatic, and through a few other things. So like and sauna is another good one. That's why you do the sauna pod. So like now, once I understood that, I was like, oh, lymphatic makes sense. I understand now. But why do we only usually talk about the face?
I think the face, it's you see your face right away, and it's kind of easy to see maybe the change right away. I guess I don't necessarily know, but if there was any area of the body that I would like focus the most on, it would be the legs or the stomach, because that's where, especially as women, we hold most of the fluid, and because of gravity, it has to travel upwards. So the face is easily manipulated. I guess maybe that's why it's so, maybe not even trendy, but it's easy to show
trendy,
that.
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you.
Everyone
I think
wants a snatch face. That's the first,
Totally fair. I think we all do.
It's like having like a nice smile, right? Like that's the first impression of someone. But if you're not addressing the whole body, and you're not working on your gut health, you're not working on the water retention in your legs and the rest of your body, it's not going to, like, your face isn't going to stay as snatched, after one. Like if you do your gua sha in the morning, be like, oh, I'm still puffy later. It's like, yes, because you're just pushing that fluid to a different area. And there is benefits in that. So I don't ever want to discredit that, but you have to address the body as a whole and do things to help your lymphatic system in entirety, and just your overall health is important.
It's so funny because anybody listening right now is probably like, I've saved so many videos of like how to wash out my face, how to wash out my face, how to wash out my face.
Yes.
And it's hilarious now sitting here. I'm like, oh my God, wait, what about the whole rest of the body?
Mm-hmm.
What about washing the whole entire body?
Yeah.
Do you do any at home lymphatic? Like, could somebody do this at home partially?
Yeah.
Like to the areas of their body and how would they do that?
Yeah.
How would they even go about doing that?
Absolutely. So I always like to, for one, I'll say, and I think you and I have shared this too, it's like to simplify, like I'm a very simple kind of mindset kind of person because we all have busy life. So simplify it. So think of what congests your lymphatic system, what slows it down. And so that would be a sedentary lifestyle, dehydration, processed foods, and then like your sleep, like how well you sleep, because your body detoxes overnight. So if you think of those 4 pillars and try to do something in each one of those, that's what's going to help your lymphatic system. Because you can come and get a massage, but if you go back home and eat a cheeseburger and drink and do all these things, like you did nothing then, right? So making sure you're hydrated, making sure you get some movement in every day. So like a 30-minute walk is great for your lymphatic system because it contracts your muscles. Making sure that you are eating as much as possible whole foods, because then your body can process that out. Processed foods are kind of like toxins to the body. They're not toxic, but your lymphatic system has to work harder to flush it out. And then sleep, because like I said, we detox overnight. So trying to get really good quality sleep and, really focusing on that, as well as the self massage that you can do. So I recommend my clients doing 20 minutes of legs up the wall every night. So lay on your head, lay on your bed or on your couch and put your legs up for 20 minutes. And that allows that fluid to drain to your lymph nodes in your groin. Those are some of your main drains in your body. And that really helps kind of reset, especially if you work at a desk all day, if you're sitting all day, or if you're standing, either or can help drain your legs. And then doing the gua sha is great. There's tons of routines out there to help with your face. And then the stomach massages are really good and easy. Doing some circles starting on your right side, going to your left, and there's tons of videos out there, but I prefer to just start with the basics of, and get those underway. And then you can add in the massage, because if you're not doing the other things, then the massage is just kind of like, it works for the moment, but it's not a long-term benefit.
Kind of like a filler.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because I used to be like, oh, I'm so dehydrated. I like, if I drank and went out and like, ate probably Topper's pizza at like 2 a.m. and like drank and you wake up and you're puffy and you feel like ass and you're definitely, you have like inflammation in your body and I'm definitely dehydrated. And I'm like, that's kind of a showing in a very obvious way of the lymphatic system not having a detox yet. Correct? Like that's kind of like you're visually seeing it. Okay. So I like always try to think of that of like, okay, that everyone knows that look. Like when you're like, oh, I'm definitely like puffy. Yeah. That's that fluid retention and that inflammation that the lymphatic system works through.
Yes.
So,
and it's a very slow system. Like on its own, it's just a slow system because there's no pump to it. So if we add in all these extra things, it's like, okay, like what the heck is going on? And so it does, yes, it needs that little bit of help. Like I said, especially in our day and age, we're eating so different. We're doing, our lifestyles are so different than they were hundreds of years ago, where this wouldn't have necessarily been needed because we were so active and we were not exposed to what we are to now. So this is just such a great solution for our timeline and for the generation that we're in, and to stay on top of things so that we don't allow toxins to sit in our body. And, like I said kind of earlier, like a swamp, think of what's in swamp water, like all these nasty like bugs that just like thrive in there, like that. Think of your dirty lymph in your body like that. The longer that sits in there, it's like a beautiful breeding ground for diseases. So get it out. We're never going to fully be able to live a tox-free life because that's just the society we're in, but let's push it out of the body. And in turn, that helps even emotionally. We're releasing, like in our gut, we're not holding on to all that junk in our gut, and like our gut's our second brain. So we're flushing that out and giving our body a chance to reset, reheal, and just give us the best chance every single day.
Yeah, I love that. And I also love that you never like, the only way to like live healthy is like lymphatic. Like it's like, no, you're like, no, drink your water, go to bed, do all these things. But I will say, on top of the benefits I've seen of just like overall mental clarity, inflammation, like going down, tightness in my body, like movement in my digestive system, like truly those are the main things that I've seen. And just like air quote snatch, because I'm like, obviously I'm eating well and I'm working out, but like, it's like that tightness of my body is really like powerful. Being able to treat yourself to something that slows you down and like gets you out of your normal routine and is like calming actually has changed the way that I live, because now I can sleep better because I've calmed myself down. Right. And like, now I'm like able to have a less stressful day because I have that like coming up, like, or I like know when I'm going to have my massage. Like it's a part of a lifestyle I'm choosing. Yeah. And Lymph has become part of that. So like you've created something special. So I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
I want a really quick transition because obviously I love what you do. And this is just the beginning. You're growing like wildfire. It's insane. And it's because you believed in it, and it's because of your selflessness, and it's because you've taken dreams of your sister and yours and created something for other people. It's selflessness instead of selfishness. And I genuinely think that's why you're so successful. You are the biggest giver that I know, truly. But like, what would you say to someone who's like maybe at the start of their own thing, or just like struggling because they're like, I don't know, do I go forward with the thing that I want to do? Like, what would you say to them?
If you had to do whatever the thing is the rest of your life, would you be happy? Like, would it fill your cup for the rest of your life? And or if you had an unlimited budget, like, would this be the thing that you did? Or are you choosing this because of the budget, because you can't afford something else, So I believe starting there, and also kind of on the flip side, would you do this for free? Like, would this be something that if you didn't get paid to do this, or if it wasn't lucrative or wasn't whatever, would you still find fulfillment in it? And if you can answer yes to those questions, then I would say like lock in and do it, and find your people, find your community, talk to people, reach out. Don't be afraid to do it for free at the beginning, because you have to start somewhere. And when you start to get that traction and you start to see, okay, I'm getting people are latching onto this and they like this and they can feel your passion, then everything else will start to fall into place. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be easy, but you have to start with yourself, and you have to really look inwards and say, is this something that is worth everything? Am I willing to invest everything I have into this, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially? And if it all works out, this is my thing. Yes. And then I believe the answers will come from there. And
you'll be able to see what you need to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about just for somebody who maybe has been through it a little bit, but like they know they're destined for something more beautiful?
Same advice, find your passion, but then also be okay to pivot and be okay with things not working out, because especially when you're going through grief or you're going through hardship, it can be easy to latch onto something that you think is going to bring you happiness. But when you get it, you're like, maybe I don't want this. This isn't what I wanted. But don't like throw it all away. Say, okay, what did I learn from that? And pivot to something else and transition. Just similar to me. Like I started off on different paths and I thought that was my path. But once I got it and attained it, I was like, this is not what I wanted. But I was okay. And I think with the support I have, I was okay with pivoting and saying, okay, what did I learn from this 4-year, $40,000 degree? How can I change that and make it into a different business or something that brings me purpose? And again, it just all turns back into internally. Like, you can look at people on social media, you can look at everyone, and maybe your journeys are similar, but it'll never be the same unless you look internally and say, what do I need? Like, what's going to make me successful? What's going to make me have purpose? And once you start there, then again, everything else will just kind of start to fall in place. And
I love that. That's so clear. I like can see it crystal clear too, because I'm like, yeah, you could have gotten discouraged when Reiki was not your thing. You could have gotten discouraged when deep tissue massage was not your thing, but you instead were like, okay, I like body work. Now I know that. Or like at first with Reiki, I like healing. Yeah. I don't know if this is quite doing it for me, but like I need to pivot again. But like I learned, like I really like working one-on-one with people because they change their energy. Okay, what if I touch them? Like what if I'm doing massage? Okay, something, this is great, but you can kind of like get massage like from, certain types of places. Like, and then finally you heard from Rebecca and you're like, oh my God, the emotion, there it is. Yeah. But like it took time. It's not going to be in the snap of your fingers. You're not going to know answers when you've never done it. How the hell would you know something about something that you don't know how to do? So like that pivot and that internal reflection, is everything when you're trying to create something. And I hear you and I see you and I'm like, I just wanted people to know that like, God damn it, have faith and keep going. Don't get there and then hit the wall and be like, ow, frick, dead end. It's never a dead end.
No,
guaranteed.
No, you can always pivot. I love that term. You can always do something else. Like we have, what do they say? There's another, 24 hours the next day. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you can always, there's always another day. So don't be discouraged. And again, I think that like that comes from, at least personally, we've been as a family through the worst almost in a sense. So in a weird way, I kind of use that as my advantage. I'm like, well, what's the worst that can happen? Yeah. Like, like let's try it. Let's do it a different way and see where that takes us, and just believing in yourself and believing in your passion.
I love that. You're so good at like wording that too. And also just like I love how you talked about social media, just as we kind of wrap, is like, you can look at everybody else and what they're doing and think, oh, maybe I'll do that. You got to try, one, but two, like that doesn't mean it's going to be your thing. Like I think I've given this example a few times lately, because I think our generation is so stuck in like becoming the influencer, but like having no reason why, like just wanting what the person has over there because it looks fun. But like, is it filling your cup? Is it your passion? Is selling clothes or making funny videos online your full passion, like going to fill your cup to the brim? Because if it's not, why are you wanting to be that thing? What's your why? Right. And that goes for any job. But right now the fixation is influencing. So it's just like, understand your why and then just start going forward and stop pretending like when you get to the corner, to the wall, that it's a dead end. It's not a dead end. It just means you got to turn a little bit. So anyway,
absolutely.
You are incredible. Thank you for being here and sharing your story too. And like just your safe space for women and your why. And I don't know. I just think you're an incredible human being. I've worked with you now. I think we've known each other for almost a year now too, but like you have created something incredible, and like you did not know how you were going to get there. You had short end of the sticks left and right. You created something, you gave selflessness, you gave it for free. You did, like kept going. You had the support of your family. Like that is a brand success story, in my opinion. Like that is living a wealthy life. So like, just know that I just wanted to share that because it's impactful and it's powerful and you're doing incredible things. So I'm excited for what's coming next too. I'm like, I won't say or give it away, but I'll let you speak to it. But, where can they find you on social media and come see you if they're local?
Yeah. So, our Instagram handle, is that what it's called, is lymphlounge.co. And then our website is, also lymphlounge.co. And then if they're local, they can come to our spa. It's in Edina, 777 Washington Avenue. And it's on the border of Edina and Eden Prairie. So everyone always gets confused. But you can come visit us there. We have a full team of massage therapists that would be happy to help you. And we just can't wait to meet everyone. Everyone should experience it, even at least once, Yes. See if you like it and how you feel after. And we just love to connect and be a part of the community. We're so grateful. Yeah, you guys are incredible. Well, people need to go see Macy, for the love of God. I don't know what else you want me to say, but you better freaking do it. As always, you guys, if you like this episode, love this episode, share it with somebody who needs this reminder that it's never too late to rewrite their story, to pivot. Someone going through something that needs to have a little words of encouragement or living proof of going from toughness to really hugely successful. So share this. Let me know how you liked it. Let Macy know how you liked it too. If you have questions, send them her way. Otherwise, the Wealthy Circle is free for you to be inside of it. Macy's in there too, along with like 160 something other women. So come join us over there. I made it free because I just want to give back to the community too, and just have more people get connected that have the right mindset and are going for big things. So anywho, I loves you. I'll talk to you later. Macy, thanks again for being here. Thank you.
Talk to you soon, everybody. Bye.